You know, it's just the year for Pinocchio, I guess. I did not think I would watch Del Toro's version of Pinocchio, not because it didn't seem interesting, not because of, you know, any, I would say, criticisms whatsoever. I was just like, what's the deal with Pinocchio? And I don't know if after seeing the live action with Disney, I'm just like, I need a break. I don't know, but uh, I've seen other, pieces from Del Toro, so I was like, it's not going to be what anything similar to what Disney's is, or at least assuming that. Seeing the trailer and from what I was kind of gathering, I'm like, okay, this is going to be very different. So, I'll give her a shot. And if you were afraid by any means, because it's a Pinocchio film, maybe the other Pinocchio films just have not done it for you. This one is more dark. This one has, I think, a lot of themes revolving life, death, as well as I think new introducing themes when it comes to like what's it like being a child, what's it like being a father, these different father figures and how those are represented. I think it does a very good job of representing this story and taking these elements and kind of making it its own. So this is, an adaptation from the book, the 1983 book, The Adventures of Pinocchio, I believe it's called. And essentially, what makes it, I would say, very different is, from I would say other renditions when it comes to if you're comparing it specifically to the Disney version, you get more when it comes to before Pinocchio. So before Pinocchio's even created, like 15, 20 minutes like into the film, you see like Geppetto's life beforehand. And I think that helps a lot. Um, Understanding like why this fixation on like wanting to create essentially this puppet, this like real boy sort of situation. It also covers a time where, and you get this through what they're talking about, um, basically World War I and World War II. And that's what makes it very dark with some of the themes that are talked about and with kind of what's going on with some of, I would just say, some of the events that are going on. Because there, I wouldn't say is a lot of death. It's very much implied. There are a lot of things that happen. And so, you know, even though this is very much, I would say, a kids film, there is a lot of those heavy themes, heavy messages when it comes to like, hey, what's going on? And that's what makes it, I would say, kind of dark. Because I didn't know, if you've seen any work done aside from this from Del Toro, like it's very good, but also can be like very creepy, very scary, like somewhat out there. Like you never know what you're gonna get sometimes in a good way. And so, that was kind of the situation here, but it still plays to where like there are some songs, there, are still like some, I see it still seems very safe. The animation that's done with it being stop motion, I think, is just an art form in and of itself and is done very well. And, Del Toro was talking about how, he kind of wants to do more animation. And so, maybe we might see more of this kind of style, or we might see something else. But honestly, with a lot of things that were talked about and done in this film, there are some similarities, of course, like especially when you look at, I would say, the beginning of the film, like how Pinocchio is created, um, going to school, wanting to be a star. That's all there. But if you're thinking like, oh, is it the same as Disney? It's not the same. It's very different. Um, so that's where, if you're wanting, I would say, a different rendition of Pinocchio, or maybe afraid, like I was, of another Pinocchio film, I honestly would give this one a shot, give her a try. And, I thought it was a very good film. There, like I said, very deep themes when it comes to loss, grief, life, death, just, I would say, overarching, like, almost childlike wonder, being a child, like I said, different types of fathers, how those are represented. And so I think it's just a different take on this story, and it's done very well. And I liked it. I like when that is done in a way to where it's done in a way to where it's very clever, it's unique, and it's not just like a repeat of kind of what we already have. So I very much recommend it. If you've seen it, feel free to leave your thoughts down below, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.